Sometimes I wonder if my younger self would be proud of who I am today. And that's because when I was younger, I always heard that it was okay to be dumb, to not worry about the future, or it's okay to enjoy where you are. When I was younger, I always hated hearing this. I think as a young guy, you should want more and start figuring out ways to achieve more. So, dear young guys, here's some actual good advice. As a teen, I stressed myself out thinking where I'd be 10 years from now. Now, it still hasn't been 10 years, but as of right now, I'd like to think that I'm on the right path. Especially this last 6 months, I really honed in. So here's everything that I'm doing now, as well as things that you should be doing as a teen. Let's talk about better clothing. Now, sometimes this is hard to do when you're young. Not having access to a lot of money should hold back your style, right? Well, I don't think it should. Dressing better can be done with little to no money, and here's how. First of all, finding style inspiration is completely free. On Instagram, Pinterest, or even on YouTube videos like the one you're watching. Styling the clothes that you already have in new, better ways will make your clothes that you're bored of that much better. Take a look at your favorite pieces. For me as a teen, I loved Converse and hoodies. So you can go on social media, again, Pinterest or Instagram, and start searching up ways to style Converse, style hoodies, all your favorite pieces. Chances are you'll find some new ways to style pieces that you never thought of. Screenshot all of these, and next time you're getting ready, you can reference back to those pictures. That way you have some new outfit ideas, opposed to the same boring things every day. Another great way to dress better with little money is by shopping at clearance sections. This used to be my bread and butter when I was a kid. To this day, I still head there first when I'm shopping, sorting low to high online, or every website has a clearance section. These are all things that didn't sell last season, and there's always some hidden gems, especially from the right brands that are always having sales. H&M, Zara, Hollister, they all have great pieces for the low, or especially the bigger brands that you always hear about. Some of these like Nike, Adidas, Banana Republic, since these are major brands, there's always a hidden way to save money. Whether it's signing up for a newsletter, putting in your phone number, or scouring around Google for a little bit, you could probably find a discount. And sometimes I get that's a little hard to believe, and that's exactly why I'm going to show you it is not hard to find a good deal, especially if you're going to be taking advantage of sales that are going on currently. Like right now, in the month of December, there's always going to be some holiday specials. So I want to show you what I could find for a cheap price. So we're here on Nordstrom, and I chose Nordstrom because they're a carrier of a bunch of different brands, including some of my favorites. For example, Ralph Lauren, which is typically very expensive. But again, let me show you exactly how I would find some holiday sales on my favorite brands. And speaking of that, here it says holiday sale up to 40% off. I am not lying to you. I did not know that was going on, but again, it works out heavily in our favor. So if we search up Ralph Lauren, go polo Ralph Lauren so we don't find anything too crazy. And again, the first thing we're gonna do is sort low to high. Now, once you scroll past everything, which is just gonna be socks and underwear for the first part, you're gonna start finding clothes that actually interest you. And again, always on sale. And from here, you're gonna be able to spot a few things on sale. Honestly, right now, the sales for Ralph Lauren isn't looking too good. So instead, what you could do is go straight to the sales section and look, a pretty heavy puffer jacket for $112. That's not bad, especially considering it's 50% off. For those of you guys who are interested in designer, Versace is up to 40% off. I don't personally recommend it, but it's there if you want it. I think this is an incredible looking jacket, $97, again, 50% off. Top Man is a really good brand. This jacket is $72. And of course, something like Nike Blazers for $73. So point is, you could find a bunch of different sales if you're looking at the right places. And in my opinion, it's a lot easier than you might think. Now, something that I learned recently that I didn't do as a teen, but I definitely think I should have, is shopping secondhand. Now, honestly, the whole thrifting thing didn't become a huge trend until after I graduated high school. However, it's one of those things that became popular, and you think to yourself, why did I not do this sooner? So going to local thrift shop stores are great, or from apps like eBay, Depop, or Poshmark. In fact, I've been selling a few things on Poshmark lately, and I can confidently say whoever's buying these pieces is on the come up for great items for a low price. But it's not just me. You can find these anywhere on any of these apps. In fact, a few of my pieces in my wardrobe, I did exactly that. Because of that, instead of paying full price for really expensive clothing items, I saved a lot of money, and the only thing I missed out on is taking off the tags. Now, one thing that I don't want to hear is easy for you to say you have new items, you have a huge wardrobe. I used to say the same thing when I was a teen. I used to look at others and say I could dress like that if I had money. Now that I think about it, that is one of the dumbest things I've heard. Obviously, you could dress like someone if you're shopping at the same stores. But one thing I learned recently, it is not about how much you spend on your outfit. Again, I could look at somebody, copy that same exact outfit for a fraction of the price, getting the same pieces secondhand, or finding some alternatives that looks the absolute same. Chances are feels very similar for, again, a fraction of the price. Now look, the main thing, you gotta stop looking for excuses and start finding creative ways to improve. Being in the mindset of constantly improving in every single little aspect that you do is something that I wish I did sooner. And again, it's one of those things that I started doing in the last 6 months. And if I could write a letter to my younger self, I would give him exactly that piece of advice. Settling for average is not okay, but there's only so many things you could do overnight. Everything is about consistency, and again, and being in that mindset of constantly improving is what's going to get you further in life. Now, I actually just posted this on my Instagram, but a better term of what I was trying to get across is self-actualization. And after hearing about this term, I realized this is exactly what I've been thinking about, and this term puts everything I've been doing into a proper definition. That's exactly why I bought a poster that gives you a proper definition: an innate need in each individual to realize or fulfill one's full potential. I think this is a great poster to have. I love these little motivational posters. I actually have a few of them on my wish list. I'll link everything in the description below. One thing I like to think about is who's going to go further: the guy who makes the New Year's resolution plans, only sticks with it for about a year, or the guy who's constantly improving little by little. At the end of the year, you're going to be a completely different person, and for the better. Another piece of shopping advice I'd like to give: it's okay to buy some similar things to things you already have. Don't limit yourself. To think that you're not the kind of person to pull this off, even though it's an item that you really enjoy, is putting yourself in a box. If you're truly fascinated by an item, you think you would look good in it, there should be no excuses for you to wear that. If it's going to make you more confident, if you like the way you feel in the piece, then I don't want to hear any excuses. Buy that piece, wear it with confidence. I promise you, you're gonna feel a lot better. A great example is the fact that when I was younger, I used to be so scared to dress more mature, dress a little bit more sophisticated, because it was way different from all the kids that were wearing streetwear. And at that time, it was mostly Supreme and Bape. I was scared to step out of this little comfort zone. If I started dressing for myself at a younger age, I would have felt more confident, and I would have felt it a lot sooner. As a younger guy, I thought I had to settle for being the guy that was always looked over and just average. And once I started to dress better, whether it was the cheapest way possible or when I got my first job at 16 years old, finally being able to buy clothes for myself changed everything for me. So if you're not at that age yet, you are going to have to sacrifice a little bit, but keep in mind, always something that you could do, whether it's something small or something as big as buying a completely new wardrobe. But that's something I wasn't able to do until recently. And that's not trying to be a flex on anybody, because again, if you're going to comment on this video, easy for you to say you could buy a brand new wardrobe. It's putting yourself in a box, and that's limiting yourself. And I do not want you to do that, because I used to be obsessed with social media influencers who gave good information about things I was so interested in. And there's really two things that you could do from here. When you're following these influencers, it's one thing to say, it comes easy for this guy. He doesn't struggle with the same things I struggle. Now, I can't talk for anybody else, but chances are, me and you, we had similar issues. If you're saying I don't have money for new clothes, I've been through that issue. If you're saying you lack confidence and you're insecure, I had that issue. I strongly believe that the only difference between me and you is time. That being said, there are so many things that I wish I knew sooner, and had I known these things, I would have been better off. I would have been way more confident at a way earlier age. And honestly, it doesn't matter what age you are. Even if you're older than me, there should be no excuse for you not to work on yourself and become the person that you want to be. Now, of course, it's not just a straight line from there. At times, I would go back to old habits, and a key skill that you need to work on that I'm still working on myself is being able to pull yourself out of that, snap out of it, and realize what's going to be more beneficial for me. A night of going out and partying, spending 3 hours on your couch scrolling through TikTok, or even dedicating 1 hour to reading something about finances, or just anything that you could do to improve anything that you're interested in. As always, I try to be the guy who's going to help you with all these things. And to this day, there's so many things that I haven't figured out yet, but I am very excited to say that once I figure out these things, first person I'm going to tell is you. That way, if you're going through the same things, if I pick myself up, I'm going to help you get up as well. This is one of those things that I don't want to eat unless my boy's eating as well. That being said, if you are part of the younger crowd and you want to know the letter that I wrote to myself as a young guy, especially in school, here's a video that's going to show you exactly that. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Later.